Have you ever wanted to drive a real race car on a famous NASCAR track? The staff at Stock Car Racing Experience will suit you up, teach you what you need to know, and put you behind the wheel of a 160-mile-per-hour stock car on NASCAR's famous Pocono Raceway.
That was great. I enjoyed it.
Unbelievable.
It's that unique, one-of-a-kind experience you'll never forget.
It was definitely worth it.
The second time I did it, and I'm still shaking.
Call or register online at 877stockcar.com for a heart-pounding, once-in-a-lifetime experience. You won't forget it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight. Here we are at Talladega Super Speedway. RacinFreeks, sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience. And tonight, 2.66 miles of super speedway, high bank fast, exciting cup action here live tonight up here in the OSR Network booth. I'm Joe White here, accompanied by John T. Wimmis. John, how you doing tonight, man?
Hey, doing great, Joe. Ready for this high-speed action here at Talladega. It's going to be exciting.
Man, I am going to love it. These guys are about to put it to the wind. They're going to get out there and help each other push their cars. They're going to be so close to each other.
Yeah, they're going to help for a while, and then we're going to see all that helpfulness and wanting to work together go out the window.
Absolutely. And, well, this is the first plate race that I've called with the new package, I believe, if my memory serves me right. So it's going to be interesting to see with the new package here that iRacing's got, how these cars. Now, Daytona with this league was an exceptional race. Now, I'm mistaken. It was either caution free or it had one caution that actually just ended the race, and that was it. So I know they're capable of doing it, John. It's just a matter of whether or not they can get around this track and do it here.
Yeah, and a couple races that I've done in the Cup car here since the new update, I enjoy it. It doesn't want to pull up as well as say the K&N or the ARCA car does. It's a little bit harder to do it, but you can get a pretty decent run on the guys. But if you fall a little too far behind and those guys are in the draft, you can lose a draft real fast in a hurry here. So You definitely want to be
Nice.
close enough, but you got to keep yourself out of trouble at the same time. But you can suck up to the car in front of you a little bit, so it's not a bad package. Still a little, to me, a little more drag than what you would want, or just not enough pull to it, I guess.
Okay. Well, you would know. I mean, you've been running a couple of the races here, the NISs and stuff like that, and whatnot. I haven't got a chance to jump in the car and experience any of it. So, although I will say, I'm looking forward to the action, man. I love the plate racing. I'm definitely gonna get my feel of 2x2 nose to tail, exciting, and but we're probably gonna see some 3 wide, 4 wide before it's over with.
Oh, you absolutely will. Especially as we get on later on in the race here, and these guys, you get some momentum, and you kind of get tired of sitting behind some guys. You'll see somebody shoot out and somebody go with them. So it's a lot of split-second decision-making here.
Man, that's awesome right there. Well, you tuned in to the right spot here tonight, folks. Talladega Speedway, Super Speedway, that is, as we're going to get set here soon to go qualifying action here for the Racing Freaks, sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience. If you're in the Pocono, Pennsylvania area, check them out. Hey, if you want to experience what it's like to do this, and as I always say, unless they come up with a convertible, I ain't experiencing it.
Well, maybe you need to talk to those guys and see if they can hook you up.
Yeah, that's what I need. Call them up, man. Hey, do y'all have any convertible stock cars up there?
Yeah, they're probably the only convertible they got's like a Mazda Miata, and I don't know if that's going to work out either.
That's true. I probably wouldn't fit in that thing. This is no lie. That's a true story. It's a true story, folks. When I say this here. Do you remember the cars? I think they was called the Fieros, I believe they were, back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You know how small they were? They only was like a 2-seater car. Well, it's no lie. I could not fit into that car. I was too tall.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I tried. I had a girl I knew I worked with back. I worked at grocery stores, and I tried to get into that thing, and I couldn't do it. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me, really?" Sad state of affairs, I know.
Yeah, it's a terrible story.
Hey, true though. It was true. True. Well, right now we're still in practice right now, and these guys are looking darn good. How long we got till we go green flag?
We got less than a minute here before the end of practice.
Okay, cool. Good deal. Well, I definitely want to give a shout out here. As, we're testing a little bit, testing something new tonight.
Uh-oh.
What?
There we go. What are you working on now? What is happening?
Well, we're it's nothing that's going to affect anything. It's actually going to make us a lot better.
Well, how's it going to make us better if it doesn't affect anything?
Okay. Mr. Technical up here. All right, there you go.
Well, I'm just asking a relevant question. It's your channel. You do what you want.
I was waiting to hear that. I was testing earlier. We're obviously OSR Network. We're live here tonight. YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. But you can also count another one on there, as you can go out there to OSR Network, and we're live on Twitter tonight.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. Yes, sir. Testing out something here new. Somebody asked me if I could do it. I figured out a way that we could do it. I just got to look, make sure all the bit rates and everything is right and all. So, we're going to see how well it rolls. It won't affect anything on the other end of the stream, so I figured why not? We'll try it. If it works, it works. Hallelujah. And it gets the leagues out there to more viewers. Basically, that's why I'm doing it, folks, is to get these leagues out to more. Y'all already get enough of me talking, and if you're not tired of me talking, I'll let John talk.
Well, those people, they're going to get to hear you talk more, so that's...
Well,
you did it for the leagues, but you're also doing it because you're on 6 nights a week.
7.
Is it 7 now? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Goodness gracious. That's right, it is 7 now. Oh,
yes,
my gosh.
It is. 7
Surprised
nights.
your wife hadn't left you.
She don't mind.
Yeah, she probably likes you being in the other room.
Yeah.
That's why she keeps going places. She went. She went to the beach and spent some money and came
Yep.
back with bags and stuff.
Yeah, she
Like,
came
look
back
at
with
what
everything.
I did. And then what's funny about it is when she went and spent the money and interrupted you during a broadcast, so you couldn't complain about it.
Yep, that's right. Darn right. Yep, absolutely. So, hey, well,
She knows what she's doing. That's a smart woman.
What's up, Waylon? What's going on? I will also say this. Another new thing. I should be able to communicate with the people on Facebook Live tonight. So if anybody's watching on Facebook Live, shoot a message, and let me see if this app chat thing that I've got will work. Obviously, I'm seeing everybody on the YouTube side, and I can see everybody on the Twitch side, but I want to make sure it is interactive with the Facebook side, and then also it should be interacting with the tweeter side. So I'm gonna call it tweeter because I like Twitter. I gotta like Tweeter, man. It just sounds, I don't know.
Redneck? Sure does.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. John T. Wimmer said that, by the way, folks.
I can say that.
Hey, look, it's your room. You say what you want.
Hey, I'm going to say what I want. If you don't like it, too bad.
Mute it. Yeah, too bad. There you go. Too bad. I got the mute button. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're in qualifying, folks, and right now, man on point. Let me get my little thing here straight.
It's
Dominique Lee.
Yeah.
Now, he's
Close
a new
time.
one. Yeah, he's a new one. Well, as we say that. Yeah,
There we go.
yeah well, as we say
I figured that was couldn't have been.
Oh, okay. Randy Boykin. He's over on Facebook. Just saw him pop up. Says, I'm on FB Live. All right, so it works. Hallelujah.
That's cool, man.
That is. I can talk with the people.
That's exactly what you need is another way to talk to people.
Come on, man. I love talking to people.
I know you do.
It's interesting, man. Well, qualifying's over.
It can be.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, it looks like we're commenced qualifying, and guess who's on top? Tyler Conroy. Man, right there. He's a bad, fast man. As always, we're going to be talking about it. But
it's not quite over yet.
Oh, I got a checkered flag. Yeah.
No.
It's over with.
We're at 4 minutes out of 5 minutes, and Zach Hall just went to the top.
Okay. Well, whatever.
I see. That's what you're starting to get distracted now. You got so many ways to talk to people. It's freaking you out a little bit. You know.
I saw my little thing go up to the what you call it. That's why.
That explains a lot of what you call it.
A flag, excuse me.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
My flag. So.
Phew. Redneck technology.
Are you tired?
What can you do? No, I'm not tired. I'm just way too much going on here.
Absolutely. Well, we got a lot going on, and there's going to be a lot going on here. Talladega Super Speedway tonight, folks. RacinFreeks Sim Racing League, sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience. And I'm going to tell you, these guys are about to put it on the high banks here. 2.66 miles. Not very hot of a track. I think it was, 99 degrees, I believe it was, John?
98.
98,
which
okay.
will play a factor later on in the run with the tires, and you'll see the cars not be able to hold that bottom line too well.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, and I think here we go. Now we're going to start to get here the grid up here, folks. Tonight, I'm kind of get pumped up about this. Love Talladega. Like we always say, it's the, super speedways, man. It's a heck of a race to be able to do it. So, let's go through our grid in order here right fast. As tonight's pole winner, Zach Hall putting it on pole. Well, you can't stop that guy. He's just bad fast. Tyler Conroy starting second. Brandon Mullen in third. Brian Johnson's back out there again tonight, starting in fourth. Mark Whitley in fifth. Tom Drilling in sixth. Cedric Hunter starting seventh. Nick Crawford in eighth. Derek Paulson in ninth. And Bob Skinner rounding out the top 10 as we look through the rest of this field. John, when I say this tonight, it's anybody's ball game. I absolutely mean it. These guys won't be able to get away from each other. They'll be glued together, being hotter than a cheese sandwich. And all race long, it will be anybody's race. And we could see a first-time winner tonight.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you can't run up front here without some help, and you're not going to get the win without some help. Somebody's got to decide that they're okay finishing behind you and just try to help you out and have a good points night. So this is all about teamwork. Whether you're working with a teammate or somebody else, you've got to find people that are comfortable with you. You got to hold the line and work well together.
Absolutely. Well, we want to appreciate all the viewers and appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, because you're about to tune in to an awesome race. 90 laps of super speedway excitement. Door to door, wheel to wheel. These guys will get out there. Heck, they'll be so close to each other. Hand gestures could come into play. They'll definitely be able to see it. So we'll have to see what happens, and hopefully tempers don't flare too much. It's hot on the track. It's hot outside. We got a bad, fast, hot cars out here. 19 of the best here at the Racing Freaks. And like I said, everyone tune in. It's going to be awesome as we're worldwide tonight.
Yeah. Too bad that some things don't let you use music, because I'm thinking of a song right now that would be perfect.
Yeah, no doubt. I tell you, that's the only bad thing about it. Some music, gets copyrighted and stuff, and we can't use it.
That's right. But you can say this, and we can get away. It's a band that have men with beards.
ZZ Top?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Well, I hope you like fast-paced, door-to-door, really nail-biting style racing, because that's what you come in the store for tonight here, is these guys are about to put it to the win. And just sit back, enjoy, like I always say, tell your wife's girlfriend, significant other, you love her, I don't care, whatever you got.
Or don't tell her that. If you want her to go away.
Just tell her don't that. Either way you got to work it. Text them or something, tell them you'll be busy for the next 2 hours. Tell your dog, pet him, give him some dog food and a treat, tell him go in another room. And most importantly, tell your neighbor to be quiet. You're about to watch some awesome racing.
Tell your neighbor to be quiet.
Might have a loud neighbor, I don't know.
That's possible.
Could live in an apartment complex.
They might be the loud neighbor, though. Especially if you're Waylon.
Then you got a problem.
Can you imagine having to live next to Waylon? That'd be annoying.
Oh, Lord, yeah, I tell you. Whew. Well, I want to appreciate, like I say, everybody tuned in right here as the pace car's coming out of turn 4. This huge 2.66, the biggest oval track they say there is. Super Speedway, Talladega, Alabama, folks. Used to be the Alabama game come down here and would dominate. Pace cars coming through the tri-oval, about to send these monster machines a flying here for 90 laps tonight as it takes that hard left turn off on pit road. Here we go, folks. Right now it's going to be the time. Green flag's about to fly, and we're about to set sail here as these guys are going to storm off into turn number 1. A blazing green flag in the air as we are set sail. These guys, like I'm going to say it, you're going to hear a lot tonight. Stuck together, 2x2, nose to tail, wheel to wheel, storming into turn 1. This is what you're going to see in a formation line, up front, in the back, all the way through the pack.
Yeah, and you got to have all this help behind you here. So Zach got up there by himself a little bit, but the 20 decided to sit with him. Outside line getting formed up out there. It's going to take them a couple laps. And for the outside line to be successful, you've got to have a lot of cars in line. So the inside line right now is going to dominate.
Absolutely. That inside line looking very, very good. Right there, Tyler Conroy got a nice looking paint job out there tonight in the gray machine. But he's got Brian Johnson on his tail. You got a breakaway 2 car up front. Brandon Mullen, Zach Hall. They're trying to get out front, but they're trying to bring that outside lane a little bit with them. We're going to see how well that works as the race goes on here. Like you said, John, that inside lane right now is a dominant part.
It is. We saw that 77 make an aggressive move there to go to the top to help Tyler and maybe bring it outside line, but there's only 2 of them versus all these cars on the bottom line, so they're going to probably get freight trained here unless some guys decide to pop out and get behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, though, you still got it. You got the Hooters machine. That guy's hooting his way all the way to the front. Target's behind him, and he's looking very good. Hopefully, Hello Kitty's back out there tonight. Cedric Hunter looking very good. Had successful run last week with that thing. And that number 4 car, Nick Crawford, nice paint job. Oh, and what you just saw it right there. Bad move right there. They 3 wide behind him.
Yeah, just an aggressive move right there. Just can't be making that stuff. It's very early on in the race right here. You're just better off sitting back and being patient there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was John Mustaine Jr. He actually got a little wiggly right there, and he almost took the car out behind him. It's like you said, right now it's a freight train. They are nose to tail going around this huge super speedway right now. Being very patient. I got to give them credit. This is something that you might see a lot of with this style car. Another thing we didn't talk about here, John, too, is they can't cross that yellow line. It's an out-of-bounds rule.
Yeah, it absolutely is. If they could do that and do make a pass on a car, iRacing does penalize you for that. And so iRacing in control of that, and I'm sure that the admins here will also be looking at it if that comes into play.
Yeah, and that's why you're seeing a lot of them. A lot of people think, well, normally wouldn't you want to dive and let the car kind of coast up to the wall coming out of turn? Well, you're protecting that inside lane because definitely those guys will dive on the inside. So you're going to see the leader out there, Zach Hall. He is hugging that yellow line all the way around this track, so that they don't get a line, run on him. Brandon doesn't get him. He's going to force him to take that outside lane, which is, hey, that's the right move to do right now.
Yeah, and that's where you want to keep this car right now, is on that bottom line the whole way around the track. It makes it very difficult, plus it's a shorter way around. So if the guys are going to go to the outside, you have to have a massive push, and the only way you can get that on the outside is to have about 4 to 5 cars lined up to try to get around you. But we'll see as later on in the run, as we progress here, that this car gets a little bit harder to hold down there, especially if you've been real aggressive with your entry and your steering input coming off. You've really got to drive this thing as smooth as you can and nothing too crazy with your steering.
Yep, and you also notice right there, Brandon Mullen, he is looking on the outside just a little bit. Folks might out there looking, going, yeah, he's trying to peep out there to look for a pass. No, he's trying to cool that nose of that car down. You cannot run tucked up behind somebody very long, or you will overheat one of these machines and blow it sky high.
Yeah, and if you keep, it just doesn't take very long for that to happen. So you'll see those guys peek out every once in a while down the back straight there, and a little bit in the turns if nobody's next to them. So you really want to get as much air as you can through there as possible, but you also want to be up in that draft. But it also helps you get a run on that guy sometimes. If you've got to push from behind while you're getting air, get out there, get that air, and then get back in that draft, and it'll pull you back up to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, they are formed up, freight train up front. You've got about 6-7 cars right there, all in a line. This looks like the front pack there. Then there's a breakaway on 2 cars back there. Let's go back and see who they are right fast. That is actually Robert Moyer and Dominique Lee. They're hooked up together, and Robert Moyer, yes, he's in an M&M's machine tonight. Oh, looks like Cedric Hunter had to go way down on the line there. Don't know what happened back there between Bob Skinner and them.
Oh, they're just listening to race chatter there. They just got everybody kind of checked up, and the two just made an evasive maneuver there. Got out of the way, went back to the back. Now he's getting back up in that draft. But that brought the 16 and the 18 up here back on their draft.
And that's cool, because that means that's going to bring a huge pile right here. Now they're going to get a good draft with Tyler Conner. We'll see what Robert Moyer does. He opts to go to the outside. He thinks it's better to try to pass right there. I think I would have just stayed behind Tyler and tried to push it back up there, because now he runs a risk. If he gets caught on the outside, he could lose that front draft again.
Yeah, the best, he's going to just have to wait, let that 18 get by and then dive back behind him there. But really what he was trying to do was see if they could get a run. If you can't, worst thing that happens is what happens right there. You just back off, get back behind the guy and try it again. But that outside line is not going to work with only 2 or 3 cars up there. But it does help you with your tire wear a little bit.
Absolutely. We're getting some good shots right here. Well, I tell you, that is an awesome looking shot right there, just to see how close these cars are running to each other right there as we're running out the back end of Brian Johnson. He's got that Mountain Dew soda can machine looking good. He's following in the footsteps of the Rockstar machine there. Also, Bob Skinner's out there running in 7th right now. He's got his he's got the silhouettes back on the top end. It looks like they're trying to high side there. Tyler Conroy is. He's trying to bring that 18 with him. You think it's going to work?
No, absolutely not. Not enough people, and you really got to be nose to tail and pushing like crazy. And then the other thing this is doing is bringing that 67, that group with the 54, 95, 77, bringing all those cars back up here. So they were all out of the lead pack draft. And once you're about 4 to 5 tenths off, or about a half a second back, you lose the lead draft, and then you start pulling away. But all this battling that they're doing and checking up has brought all the cars back together.
Absolutely. It's all the Zach Hall show right now. He's out front. Brandon Mullins tucked up behind him, running right there. Cedric Hunter's in third. Nick Crawford's looking in fourth. And you've also got Brian Johnson right there. But you got a 3-car breakaway up top. Robert Moyer, he's up there. Well, now he dives back on the inside. Tyler Conroy's there with him. And 18 Machiner, the newcomer, Dominique Lee, is out there. So they're trying to test the waters with that outside. Obviously, they can't get there. But now we got another car breaking that way with them. Looks like Nick, I believe.
Yeah, right now we got 3 cars up there, but it's still going to take a little bit more than that. But if these guys really got up there and pushed on each other, they could get back up to the leader or next to them, but getting by them is going to be very difficult to do.
Well, folks, here's the one thing. On the old package, you wouldn't see a lot of racing like this with a cup car. On the new package that iRacing brought, you're going to see some side-by-side racing with these cars. I talked to a lot of guys before that used to say with a cup car, basically, it was a freight train style at plate races. Now they can get up there and side-by-side for a little bit. As we're starting to see that as the number 4 there, Nick Crawford. He's got help, and he's getting a push on the outside. So we might see a battle one pull for the lead here shortly as he's coming up there very slowly.
Yeah, and you see what the two of Tyler Conroy's doing there, just staying with him all the way down the back and just pushing him, and that's what you need to do. But like we said, you can't do that, but for so long, so many laps, you got to get out and get some air, and that allows the guys on the inside line to get their momentum back.
Yeah, it is. Well, right now, though, it looks like you got a 4-car breakaway up front, the 2 upside on the side of them right there. Bob Skinner's left out to dry a little bit. He's got Robert Moyer behind him, but then got 2 cars on the outside of them. So it's kind of split up just a little bit. And now those 2 cars right there, Nick Crawford and Tyler Conroy, they back it down and get back in line. As I see, they were kind of losing a little bit. Looks a little spread out. And I'm going to tell you, it's spread out right now, but what we're going to see is you're going to see how fast these guys get right back up on each other.
Yeah, and I think everybody right now has figured out that the inside line is the best place to be, so everybody's staying down there, and they're all back in this lead draft. So once again, you know, you can go anywhere here on this track in a matter of a couple laps. I mean, we've seen guys, 12th to 15th place come up there and fight for the lead as long as they have some help. So right now, just got to turn some laps, get comfortable. And the other thing that you're going to see is side drafting, I believe. Once these guys get a little bit more comfortable with how the car's handling and figure out what they can do, the side draft with these cars in this package really does work very well.
Okay. Well, right now they are still in a freight train, and like I say, it's only lap 12 and 90, folks. I mean, we're sitting here watching this, and obviously, we're looking at it going, oh man, they're just running, in a line or whatnot. Well, you've got a long way to go. There's no need to push the issue now. They might test the waters on the outside. Let's see what they can do. Just like Nick Crawford there, he dives on the outside to see him and Tyler Conroy. It looks like the two that are wanting to test that outside. At some point, they're going to have to see if that outside lane will go. And look who popped out in the chat.
Yeah, you can test it all you want, but you've got to have a pretty significant number of cars on that outside line for it to work.
All right, well, let's get it here. I made a little dash cam again for these cars. Let's see what these guys look like as riding here with Cedric Hunter, and we'll kind of flip through a couple of them just to see how close they are, nose to tail, off of the bumpers of each one of these cars. Because, man, I tell you, like I'm going to say it later on in the race, business that we'll pick up later on then. Right now, these guys have been very patient, just running, feeling the cars out a little bit, trying to see what they do. Hey, Tina, how you doing out there in the chat? We see you out there, old Bob Skinner. He's doing pretty good. He's sitting in 6th spot right now. I see he's got his old paint job back out.
Yeah, this inside line here, they're nose to tail, but they're also checking up a lot too, and that's something that you don't want to do if you're trying to create space between you and this group of cars behind you. As you see, the 2's caught back up to them here. You're going to get the 18 and the 57 back up there, so bringing all these guys back into it here. So maybe some of these guys breaking away and trying to get 2x2 here wouldn't be a bad idea if the checkup is so bad.
Oh, well, Robert Moyer, boy, is still trying to look. He gave a little bump draft to Bob Skinner right there as a riding in the front side. That's what I'm saying. This cam right here gives you good representation of what they see out the front windshield. That's old Bob Skinner's right down the front. Also getting a good shot of his Twitch page for everyone there. So there you go, Tina. I'm out doing some what we call that, PR work for her. Yeah.
When Cedric Hunter moves up to the outside lane now, he's stuck in the middle.
Oh, yeah, they're 3 wide up front. Yeah, these guys are getting racy. Now they're 3 wide. The 18 making a power move on the inside right there, looking very good. Like I say, that's Dominique Lee. He's a newcomer. Is that right? Yep, Dominique Lee making a newcomer. He's got Tyler Conroy, the heck, a rock star machine coming flying up through there looking good. I'm getting him and the number 4 kind of confused. They got almost the same paint job out there.
And that 18 was back there with the 57, so you see the ground that he made up there in just half a lap using everybody's draft and making the right move there, and got that 2 car behind him that we've seen right now is a strong pusher.
Absolutely. And right there, Brandon Mulliner, man, he took it out front. Cedric Hunter's right in second. And you got Dominique Lee right there on the outside third. He's bringing that outside with him as they're stacked now 2 by 2 again. Folks, they are now all the way back, man. They are a formation of side by side, nose to tail, all the way from the front, all the way to the bottom, like 10th spot.
Yeah, and what brought this up here now that these guys are 2 by 2 was everybody got tired of having to check up so much. And you get afraid, you're going to run in the back of somebody or somebody's going to make a mistake. You're going to hit the apron. It's very hard to see what's in front of you. So sometimes you'll see these guys dive down here, and what they're trying to do is get a good look at the entry or where they need to turn so they can feel comfortable with that instead of just being blind to the turn.
Absolutely. Well, right now, John, you know what time it is?
Speed cam.
Well, I tell you what, folks, right there, if that does not get your blood pumping, your hair standing up, and I think I said one time your hair pumping, man, on your arm, you might want to get an appointment to your doctor, because that's just a breathtaking experience to listen to those motors.
Yeah, if you don't like speed cam here in Talladega, you got something wrong with you. You're just a boring individual, and that's why you don't have any friends, and you're sitting here listening to us instead.
Absolutely.
But, I'm telling you right now, man, these guys right here putting on a show. They're doing a great job here. I love seeing this drafting and the back and forth we've had, the side-by-side action. It's about to pick up, though. These guys are going to have to pit here in about the next 4 laps or so.
Yeah, and right now, Dominique Lee, the newcomer out front. Like I said, we might see a new guy here tonight. Never know, because this is just Talladega. It's a restricted place. I'll go ahead and say it. I'll coin the phrase. I've said it a million times. To me, I feel like it's a no-skill track. When I say that, I say it with the utmost respect to anybody that runs them. The reason I say that is because these guys are wide open most of the time, and it's where you put your car. I compare it to tracks like, I don't know, Gateway or something. I mean, where you got to really drive the car. So, yeah, and as you can see, we know, I know you know, John, the fast guys here in the league, the guys usually up front of the line. Here, and it's anybody's show.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, really where the skill comes into play is knowing when to be patient and when it's time to go, when to make a move. when to block, when not to block. I mean, really, if you're going to throw a block, all you're really hoping for is that it works and the guy behind you will lift a little bit or drag the brake and let you stay there. Doesn't mean that's always going to happen. So, that's a little bit of skill involved, but as you say, man, it's really anybody's ball game when you come here.
Yeah, right now, Dominic Lee would love to put, a win in his pocket here tonight, put him in the chase. You know what? I almost forgot. Holy cow. Better not forget that we got stage racing too, folks. Lap 30 is what we're looking for tonight. Lap 60 and then lap 90. I got wrapped up with all this darn action of these guys racing out here. About forgot about that. Also, John, here's some useful information you might be interested in. Fuel load 60%, 22 to 23 laps is what they're looking at. They actually have, well, he's saying he actually put in here they have 2 fast fixes tonight. Wow.
Yeah, because it's Talladega. So
yeah, well,
okay. You try to give people the benefit of the doubt, man. Sometimes incidents just happen. It's nobody's fault. But yeah, I saw the fuel load there. That's why I said they were going to have to pit pretty soon. And we're going to see some guys come in. And the problem with that is you better make sure that you're pitting with some guys that are going to help you.
And as you say that, the leader storms off on pit road, and he's got Nick Crawford, Tyler Conroy coming down with him. So, like you just said, green flag pit stops here. Coming down on lap number 23, which we just said it, 23. So who's going to take the gamble and stay out the longest? And if that's true, lap 23, 22, 23 is the fuel window. Whoever stays out from this point on, boy, they're really stretching it.
Yeah, and it depends on how much you let the draft work for you. Because in this car, you can run about half throttle behind guys as long as you're in the draft, and that will help you save fuel as well. And the other good part about that is if you save fuel, you're also keeping weight in the back end of the car. So, but I think, everybody's coming now, so everybody here will have pitted, and things will cycle through.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Brandon Mullen and them, boy, they just stormed off down through there. And they got that one extra lap. Don't know, do you think that was a smart move to help them out?
Well, I think what's smart about it is I believe that group that pitted, that's the highest number of cars that have pitted together to work together. So you got all these other guys. We got 3 cars working together up front, and you got 3 more going into the turn back there that are kind of spaced out. So all of these guys pitted, and they're all going to work together. They're going to have a lot of speed.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Brandon Mullen came in the leader. He's not going to lead the leader. He slid through his pit box, had to back up right there. So here we come. Here we hear that pack coming up with them. Zach Hall got back out there, and yes, he is in the Hooters machine tonight, folks. He's a hoot out there, and he's got a Mountain Dew soda can machine on his back bumper, looking very good. And definitely Cedric Hunter, yes, he is back in Hello Kitty.
Yeah, and right now he's got no help trying to get up to that draft there, but you see the 28 there of Brian Johnson. He's up here on the back of Zach Hall, giving him a good push. So you can't be by yourself there. And Cedric may be too far behind these guys to get any help. He may have to fall back and get some help from that 20.
Yeah, he's right there on that border. He might be able to, if he stays in the tire tracks, be able to pull it. It looks like he's closing in, though. So, yeah, he got the draft. Yep.
Yeah, the 32, I'm looking at their speeds here. They were dragging a little bit to let him catch up.
Oh, okay.
Because that 13 has been a super pusher. He's done a great job, pushing guys from there. So they definitely want him up there.
Okay. I'm sorry. He's got a super cat out there.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Hey. But, they said that he did that because you loved it so much.
I doubt that that's what happened. I think he lost the bet.
He lost the bet, but he said he put it back out there again. He just couldn't take it off the car now.
Well, it got him a lot of attention last time, and it's starting to work again. So,
well, he's got a big head of a cat on the hood. I mean, come on. Look, you've got a guy that's got an owl on the front of his, which we all obviously know what it means in reference to. You've got a soda can machine in the middle of them so they can drink some drinks. One sells hot dogs, one sells drinks, and the other one's selling cat food, I guess. I don't know.
I don't even know where to go with that now. So.
Well, the good thing is, though, Brandon Mullen, who was stuck back there by himself, has got help in the form of Nick Crawford, Tyler Conroy, and Jeff Gilmore. Hey, got to give him a shout out there. Jeff pulled up there in that Caterpillar machine. So, That's a 4-car set right there. Do they have enough if they stay in a line to run down the 3 cars up front?
Yeah, with the car count there, that helps a lot. But you've got to have guys, that are good pushers. The first guy needs to be the guy that holds the line. Second and third guys, good pushers, good speed, hold the line. The fourth guy's going to carry a ton of speed. And unfortunately, he's the one that's got to be the most patient.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, man, you have tuned in tonight. Want to appreciate everyone tuning in tonight here. RacinFreeks Sim Racing League, sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience here in Pocono, Pennsylvania. We're at Talladega Motor Speedway here, and you've seen a thriller. The Cup action here. These guys, man, are awesome. We're live here, your OSR Network, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, also over on Twitter tonight. Trying something new out. But if you're on the Facebook Live, I normally say leave a message and all, but I actually can see you posting tonight and can reply back to you, figured out a way. So if you're over on that side watching, hey, say hey. John loves to hear hey.
Hey.
Yeah, enthusiasm, folks.
So much enthusiasm.
Well, right now, the front 3 cars, they're enthusiastic about they're maintaining their distance. Zach Hall's looking very good. Brian Johnson right there behind him, Cedric Hunter. Those 3. And like what we was talking about, though, those 4 cars back there might be gaining a little bit. Not as fast as we would think, but just ever so slightly. And old
they gained 0.02 of a second. So they're gaining slowly but surely, but they can do it. But they really need the second and third car to get back up on that 20. And the 4th car in line there, I believe, who is that? The
4th car in line? Brandon,
that's the 57.
57 is
Jeff Gilmore.
Jeff Gilmore,
they really need him to get up there and give them a super push. If you can get those 4 nose to tail and get pushing here, then they can really catch these guys in a hurry.
Yeah, they kind of fell off just a little bit. For some reason, he fell back. He couldn't get up there, but they are gaining. Here's another question to throw out there for you, John. At this point, we're coming one more lap here to lap 30, which will be our first segment, and obviously it's a valuable bonus point. Does Brian Johnson try to step out, or did it just stay single file? Is it worth? And normally any other race, I'd say, yeah, it's worth. But is it worth it to do it here, knowing that you could lose so much ground so quickly?
I don't think so. I think you're better off just pushing, and just wait till the end. And the most important thing, obviously points are important, but you got to weigh your pros and cons.
Okay.
And when you're in a 3-car line like they are, if they keep this distance between them, if he were to go to the top, the 13 may decide to hook back up with the 32, and they're going to blow by him. Then that would put Brian back there with the second group here that's trying to catch up, but they are catching him. So he might have some help. If the help is there, then fine, go after it. But if there's not, then you just need to stay in line.
Well, we're on lap 30, so the help's not there, obviously. So Zach Hall takes segment number 1, folks, and gets that valuable bonus point as lap 30 was there. Hey, I want to shout out. What's going on, Trent Cook? How you doing out there, man? Thanks for watching on the Facebook side. Bucky Burke's out there watching on Facebook. What's going on? I want to just give a shout out to a lot of the viewers out there. We've seen Tina pop in, Tim pop in, and obviously Waylon, he's out there. That cat, man, we don't know what to do with him sometimes.
I know Waylon has a life. I just don't know what he does with it.
Absolutely. Jeff Gilmore has lost the draft for some reason. I don't know. I don't see any damage on that car, but for some reason he just cannot stay hooked up to those guys.
Well, here's the other thing about if you are the type of guy that drags the brake, which that's the best way to keep your momentum up, is to not get out of the throttle. And that's, the best way to do it is to just drag the brake. Sometimes you might find yourself hitting a little too much, like maybe there was a check up there and he really hit the brake hard, and that's all it takes is for you to lose a draft. I mean, these cars, once you break your momentum, it's really tough to get it back.
Yeah. Well, right now we're back here. Dominique Lee's running in 8th. They got a 3-car set here. The nose to tail running right now. Dominique, Bob Skinner, and Robert Moyer. They're trying to just stay hooked up in a line here and freight train around this huge super speedway at Talladega Motor Speedway and try to gain some ground because, I know when green flag pit stops, that splits the field up so much. And until hopefully we don't get a caution that goes caution free. I know Robert Moyer out there would be jumping up and down with glee. right now, if they race like they're racing, which again, we know how the last laps go at Talladega.
Yeah, absolutely. You see now this lead group here has caught the tail end of the lead pack here, and they're trying to get around them on the outside and put these guys a lap down.
Yeah, they are. Well, they went high, and that's just a product of, and what that has allowed also is that other set to catch up to him, Brandon Mullen, Nick Crawford, and Tyler Conroy. So right now, folks, that's the lead cars catching the tail end cars, which would be Eugene Wilkerson, John Lombard, and Hilton T. Young.
95 goes up and touches the 2 and sends him spinning.
So that might be the caution we were talking about right there. As a rock star, definitely not how he wants to be a star tonight. No caution, though.
Yeah, still no caution.
Wow.
Basically, it put them behind everybody. So iRacing does not like to throw cautions here a lot, especially if it sends you behind where the action's at.
Well, let's watch that again in the replay here. I didn't catch it going live, so we're going to go back on the replay here. Oh, yeah, 13 they just got together and that's a hard lick right into the wall. The 2 took. Wow. Hate to see that.
Gonna have to use his fast fix there and gonna put him a lap or 2 down.
Yeah, it is. Well, back up front, and it's now we got looks like about a 7-car set here to up front. You got definitely Zach All still out front, who is, he's a 2-time winner here this season so far, so he has definitely been a dominant force out here, looking very good in the 32 machine. You got Brian Johnson right there all over the back of him. Cedric Hunter out there, and yes, folks, he is in a Hello Kitty machine. But right now he's got a target on his back. That's Brandon Mullen in a 20, who has been fast this season, as I've noticed, John, but has just had bad luck here and there.
Yeah, and this is another track where a bad luck bug will come and bite you. So
absolutely,
you really got to be careful here and just mind yourself. But right now we've got the 24 car and the 80 are lap down cars running with the lead pack here.
Well, they could help them or they could hurt them, and we'll see what happens. Like you said, yeah, that Eugene Wilkerson, he's holding with them a little bit there. And the number 4 machine, Nick Crawford, he's a 5th place car, so he obviously wants to get there. And the 24 machine, that's Derek Palsy, and he's got my ever famous thing on it, and that would be hot dogs.
Yeah.
And actually,
it's Oscar Mayer hot dogs on there.
It is. Well,
yeah.
We're out the dash can of a Nick Crawford, so we're going to get a good shot of the Oscar Mayer hot dog mobile. I won't say the other word for sake of just not saying it.
It's mighty nice.
Kind of cool car. I mean, come on now.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
He likes, what is the ones you like? John's or I don't know.
Jesse Jones, man.
Jesse Jones. Yeah, there we go. Jesse Jones. He's a Jesse Jones dog person. Me, I don't care. Hot dog's a hot dog. I eat them. Anyways, Brandon Mullen's looking really good. I really wish, and I hope he has a really good finish, because he has been fast in this season. It just seems like every time I turn around, he's getting in trouble or getting in a wreck or whatnot. So it's right now, to have a good finish. And Talladega can be a track where you can come out of here with a darn good finish, or, like you said, you can come out of here with disaster.
Oh yeah, man. Talladega's like gambling. You don't know what's going to happen. You just know that you got to go out there and just let it all hang out, and wherever you end up's where you end up.
Absolutely. Well, tonight, folks, are 90 laps, man. We got to pass for the lead. That is old Brian Johnson went high. Brandon Mullen's going to try to go with him. Is that a smart move?
Yeah, well, I think what was really happening here, that's probably orchestrated because the 28 gave such a good push there. He's probably getting hot. And so Zach moved up. But what they're really doing is catching the lead lap cars here.
They are.
And letting them go, because they obviously want to keep guys that are a lap down, keep them a lap down. So the best way to do that is to work together.
Well, if there's a caution right now, Derek Paulson would be the man on point. He'd get the lucky dog there because he's staying with the pack. And notice what they did right there is they all went into a line to get everybody nose to tail, and Derek's going to get the tail end of the field there, which, you know, hey, even though he's a lap down, he's keeping pace with the leaders, and he has all right to race with them, you know, just as long as he don't go up there and do something crazy, you know. But right now, Brian Johnson out front. Got the Mountain Dew soda can machine looking good out there. Cedric Hunter and Hello Kitty. And I guess the one other thing he needs to put on there, I guess, is a waving hand while he goes by with that thing.
I'm sure he'll add it since you said something about it. Every time you tell
Yes.
people to do something, they do it. Ain't never seen that in my life.
I got that power, man.
Evidently.
What is that song, man, back in the 80s? I got the power.
Oh, here we go.
Well, there's supposed to be somebody out here supposed to. I don't think they've made the field though. Supposed to be in a. Yep, right there it is. Randy Foskey, I believe is his name. The 10th spot. Fayoski?
It looks like Fayash.
Fayash, okay. Well, he is in a Flintstone machine. Nice looking car. Cartoon Network, and I like cartoons. And right now, he might need to get his feet running a little faster because he's running in 10th. He's a little bit off the pace. He's not with any draft, so wanted to get a shot of that nice looking paint job out there. He's a rookie out here, starting his first race with the Racing Freaks.
I'll tell you what, man, the pit strategy these guys had, you know, we were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
The guys that they lapped were the ones I was saying they were not together, and they were going to be slow. And these guys all came off of pit road and worked together and showed that they made up a ton of time on all the other guys that pitted early.
Yes.
And they shouldn't have. If everybody would have worked together like these guys did, they'd still be on the lead lap right now.
Well, you got what I'm noticing here too. You've got the front 5 cars; they're pretty much nose to tail, and you got to go to the 6th place car, which is Dominic Lee, who is about he is about 13 seconds off from those guys. So yeah, there's a big gap between those two packs.
Yeah, but you got Dominic Lee, Bob Skinner, Robert Moyer, Jeff Gilmore all working together. So they should be able to maintain speed here until they have to pit again and not get passed by these guys.
Yep, absolutely. Well, right now, I'll tell you what, these guys are doing it, doing it big out here on a very big surface, Talladega Super Speedway. 2.66 miles of awesome speed action to get about 196 mile an hour. Not quite as fast as what we're used to seeing at like at a Michigan International Speedway, which due to the fact of restrictor plate as far as unrestricted plated, but nonetheless a lot of speed as close as these guys are, inches off of each other's bumpers around here. So I want to appreciate everyone tuning in tonight because you got a heck of a race. We're looking at stage racing. The first stage, Zach Hall took that one. It's lap 30. We're looking for lap 60 right next here for next stage here tonight. And John, just like I say, as we always say, it's a pleasure, man, having you up here in the booth with me. Pleasure having all the viewers, man, out there. Love it. And I hope they're seeing a heck of a strategy style race. I mean, that's kind of a unique term to use for a super speedway.
Yeah, I always enjoy being up here, especially with these guys. They put on a great show here at the RacinFreeks League. And yeah, the pit strategy here is going to be key for this next stage coming up. We saw these guys. They came in, I believe, on lap 23. So it'll be interesting to see if they stick to that same amount of laps here, if they cut it a little shorter to have a good run there for the next stage.
Well, 23, we're at lap 20. We're 20 laps in, 21 now. So if anything, we would start seeing them coming in with the next couple laps or so here. As Brian Johnson, the man out front, he's got Cedric Hunter, and he's got that Hello Kitty machine out there. Gotta love it. And you got a drink car, got a cat car, and an owl. What do you say? I mean, hey, wow.
It's different.
It is different. And then you got a hot dog bringing up the end of the line. I like these guys. Uniquely, and just to give everybody a heads up on this league, Robert Boyer, he is the man that runs here. Zach Hall is the other admin who is right there running a third spot. Robert Boyer is the main man. All these guys have actual real sponsors on here. When I say real, which means real companies on their cars, that's one of the league rules that they have to have. It can't be anything derogatory or anything like that. But now some of these guys, now like I think it was mistaken Bob Skinner, if I'm not mistaken, out there, who actually has an actual real sponsor of some of his own car. As we always get a kick, man, out of watching his car. Tina, man, gets a kick out of it when we talk about him because he's running in 7th right now, looking very good. But yeah, that's one of the rules here is they have to have a real company representing on their car. And there comes Dominique. He's sticking to the plan. And problem is nobody came with him.
Yeah, I was wondering about that myself.
Ooh. He's going to be a lonely, lonely person out there in this huge track. Well, when do these front runners come in? Because they have got to be coming in here within the next lap or so. You can't afford to run out of gas here. Looks like Nick Crawford's on the apron. Yep, here they come.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way they could turn another lap here.
Yeah, that would be disastrous. I've run out of gas here, and believe me, it is a long tow from turn 1 all the way back, to pit road. You might as well just count your race over with at that time.
Yeah, and the reason I say I kind of knew that as a fact is Hilton Young tried to make it one more lap after when these guys pitted and ran out of gas. So, and that was before the first pit stop there. I saw that happen. So these guys pitted right when they had to. I mean, there's probably a little left in it, but just not enough that you can save to get back around another lap.
Did I see that right? Are they just taking 2 tires?
Yeah, they might be. I was scrolling through the field there. But if it was a fast stop.
It was awful fast. Yeah, they came in and got out there. So hey, something else we ain't talked about. I mean, John, you don't kill the tires here, even though tires can play a factor on as hot a track as it is. But you don't kill the tires here as bad as you would, let's say, like a Michigan or Atlanta or Charlotte or something. You just don't abuse them. So you can play the 2-tire strategy. And actually, heck, you could probably set it up to maybe take no tires, really, which, if there's a caution late, we could see somebody do that. You never know.
Yeah, and when all you're trying to do is pit for a little bit of fuel there, 2 tires isn't a bad idea. And put the fuel in there that you need. But then you got to have a strategy of, when you're going to pit next, because you're not taking... where these guys are limited, pretty much that's giving them a full load anyway. So by the time they get that, it's basically half a tank and 2 tires. So it works out perfect, and you're right, you don't abuse the tires here because you're not turning, a boatload of laps.
Yeah, and you're not scrubbing the tire, so to speak. We haven't used that word and term in a while, as what you would, like you say, going into the turns of let's say a Charlotte or Atlanta or something like that. I use those tracks, but there's others out there. These guys, you're smooth into the turns. It just, I don't know. It's not abusing those tires as bad. Now, obviously, a hot track like this, John, sure, will affect the tires over the long run.
Yeah, well, and it all depends on your steering as well, how you set that up with your ratios and offsetting that, as you turn in. Is that very aggressive on the tires, or is it taking it easy? But if you're going to be aggressive, then you've got to be smooth. And pretty much you feel it in the wheel. When you're kind of forcing that issue with the tires and you got too much wheel input, then you are going to wear it out a little bit. But for the most part, the tires are not really an issue. And they run this with a shorter fuel strategy to make the race more exciting, to make people have to run with the strategy. Instead of just saying, here's a full load of fuel, go out here and turn some laps.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Waylon said, you're right, Waylon, we, there you go. We have not had a caution tonight. We've had 6 lead changes tonight for the amount here. We're looking for 10 more laps before we go to the next segment here. So looking very good, and Right now, Bob Skinner. You're talking about Tina Bob Skinner. He's sitting in the 6th spot. He is the first. Got his own group there. He's got Robert Moyer, Jeff Gilmore. They're all them running kind of nose to tail along with each other. Back there's a green flag pit stops. Obviously, mix it up. Now we have had one incident on the track, but it didn't throw a caution. I think it was Nick. Nick.
Yeah, it was the 95 went up and got into the 2.
Yep.
And so now the 2 of Tyler, he's a lap down, and the 95 is 2 laps down.
Right there, yeah. So awesome, man, here tonight. So it's
these top 4 guys, they're just working very well together, just staying nose to tail, as they know if they just keep this up, man, it's going to be hard to beat these guys. They don't want to see a caution. So
no, they don't.
But they're doing a great job. Got Brian Johnson up there leading some laps here, trying to make it to the next stage here. And Zach Hall sitting in 4th. You know, got Cedric up there. He's been doing a great job pushing. So it'll be interesting to see what these guys do if they break off 2 by 2, trying to get that point for the, at lap 60.
Well, Tina just said that last night, Friday nights, the Racing Freaks runs their Xfinity Series. And she just said Bob Skinner pulled the win also. There you go. Want to congratulate old Bob Skinner for pulling it off here. RacinFreeks Sim Racing League, sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience. Pulling off the win last night in the Xfinity Series. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. Anytime you get a win in your league races and stuff, it's pretty cool. So
yeah, no doubt.
But, he still got a shot tonight. I mean, right now they're 20 and a half behind the lead pack here. They should be fine, obviously, but the biggest thing that would help them right now would be a caution and get them back up here with these lead cars.
Well, there's 5 cars back there. He's got Robert Moyer, Jeff Gilmore, Dominic. Well, actually, it's not. He's got a couple lap cars there with him. Excuse me. They're all nose to tail forming up. So if they can get a freight train going, it would take probably the whole pit cycle to get it done, I believe, but they might be able to make some time up here, but they're going to have to work together to get it done. Like you said, they're 20 seconds back, and it's definitely going to take them working together a little bit. So, and Tina said he got the pole and the win. Well, he was doing it big last night, wasn't he?
Yeah, he just put it on, man, didn't he? The Xfinity car is not a cakewalk to drive here either. So.
No, it's not.
And, you would think that, it's a huge track. You just turn a little bit. It's really not that easy, especially when you're behind somebody and you're really close to them there. You can lose the nose on these things. You really got to know where to run, and you feel that thing out. And everybody's driving style is a little different too. So there's so much that does come into play when you're at such high speeds.
Nerves is the biggest thing that might come to mind here. John, as we look here at Talladega Super Speedway, RacinFreeks Sim Racing League here live, sponsored by Stock Car Racing. And like I said, we're live tonight. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, and Twitter tonight. As you want to tune in, anybody over on the Facebook side, I usually tell them, or Twitch side, usually tell them to leave a comment. Hey, you can still leave me a comment, but obviously I can see what you're writing tonight as I got my chat thing up, figured out a way to talk to you. Love, seeing the viewers out there, watching them tune in, because, man, they're getting an exciting racing so far. Now, obviously, we're looking at it in a standpoint here of it's a long green flag run. And when I say long, we're 55 laps into this race. There's no caution. Don't want to jinx it. There's no caution yet. And
Bob Skinner and those guys are just coming to the line now.
Yeah, they're on the backstretch.
On the backstretch, going into 3 now.
Yeah, it's probably about a half track distance.
Yeah, it's about a half a track. Yeah, I was trying to look and see exactly where he was at, but he should be okay. As he's got a little bit of help back there, but he needs to do something to get off sequence here with the leaders and pay attention to what I call the delta, you call interval, between himself and the lead pack.
Well, Delta
and maybe
is a
pitting
road
a little
race
early.
term,
Yeah, you say that, but
it is.
Steve Letarte said it.
Who's
I
that?
heard him say it on TV.
Who's that?
You did not just say who is that.
And well, okay. Maybe he come from road racing. I don't know.
Steve Letarte?
I remember Barney Hall, man. Come on.
No, dude. Steve Letarte was Jeff Gordon's crew chief.
Oh, okay.
And he was with Hendrick.
Well,
and now
they
he's on
did come
TV.
from road racing. See, because, man, Jeff Gordon came from road racing. See, all them northern boys that come. Anyways,
there we go.
Continue what you're saying.
I know. I don't even remember now.
You were talking about the delta between the two.
Oh, I'm just saying, if he's going to get up there with these guys, he might have to gamble a little bit and maybe pit earlier.
Okay.
Well,
that was going to be the next question to ask you is pitting early, would that benefit him to pit a lap before these guys?
It would if he has help. If the guys behind him and some of these lap cars will help him, then yes, it'll benefit him a lot. But if he does it and nobody else wants to and nobody wants to help him, then he's just stuck where he's at.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I just, when it comes to pit strategy and stuff like that, I'm just not very good at it. I'll be honest with you. I understand when guys tell me to, pit early, pit late, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, look at Ryan W. Daniels popping out in the chat out there.
Oh, is he?
He is. Yeah, they are talking to Cool Breeze, man.
Worked for Hendrick, man. He was Dale Jr.,
Well, I'm not a Jeff Gordon fan.
And they did good.
But I'm not a Jeff Gordon fan.
Well, he was Junior's crew chief.
And I'm not a Junior fan.
Well, now you're going to make people angry.
Well, I'm glad he's retiring.
Oh, Lord.
Man needs to get out of the car, but he's happy now. He's got married. He's got a nice-looking wife. He's done made like enough money, man, to,
I'd be happy
save the
too
national
if I looked at my
debt.
bank account every day and it had several commas in it.
Well, I will agree with you on that one there. What's going on, Bucky? How you doing out there, man? He's on the Facebook side checking things out. Like I say, we appreciate everyone tuning in tonight, man. We're here at RacinFreeks Sim Racing League. Me and John, we just have a ball calling these races up here. Super Speedway action here at Talladega Motor Speedway. And like I say, this place is sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience. And tonight you're getting the experience of none other. These guys are running nose to tail to 190-some mile an hour and not giving an inch. And yes, you are seeing Brian Johnson out front, Brandon Mullen in second, Cedric Hunter in third, Zach Hall in fourth, Nick Crawford right there in fifth, rounding out the top five. And these guys have been glued together like, man, just a hot glue up front. Very good pit strategies amongst these four. And if they, like you said, John, if they keep that up, it'll be very hard to beat them.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe Brian Johnson here is going to take the second stage here as we're coming to lap 60. So he'll be the leader for that.
Yep.
But it's interesting. These guys, basically, they're just trying to work together. And they have a good strategy for the end. Maybe it'll be a free-for-all at the end of this thing.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think the storm is kind of brewing. It's quiet before the storm, so to speak, is what they say. As right now, these guys have been very patient on the track. But you come down to 5 to go, you better believe, man, friendships done thrown out, teammates done thrown out the window, and patience thrown out the side, too, because it's go time at that point. And you're right, Bucky out there says they're going to have a TRL shootout over there. As TRL, man, starting up. As next Friday night, you're going to see us do that on OSR Network. We're going to be doing their truck series as they're going to be doing it. You're going to see some more Talladega action over there. Some more trucks flying around. They'll be doing some trucking.
And they're using the old style truck.
They are. Yes, sir.
That's pretty cool. You don't see a lot of people doing that.
No, you don't. Well, right now, these four cars up front have got a game plan, and that is stay glued together. And they're doing quite well. Teamwork is awesome.
And Bob Skinner's running back here. 23.8 seconds behind the leaders. He's got Robert Moyer with him helping. And I believe that's the 67.
67 of, who's that? 67, yeah, John Mustaine Jr. He's one lap down in 14th. Yep. See, the thing is, I'm watching those times. Bob Skinner and them's not making up any ground on these front runners. So I don't know what they, who that?
The 37, I just caught it.
That's Hilton?
He was off the track going through the grass on the front stretch there. Oh,
yeah,
it looked like
him
and the 95 may have got, let's see, let me get a better look at this.
Oh, we'll get a replay
Oh,
on it
the
here.
06 hit him in the right rear part of his bumper there. It's not a good idea in these cars.
Yeah, we just saw it right there, and he punched the outside wall. Flying off down, he's probably looked like just flying off down in the pit road there, trying to get in his pit stall. He had to take the grass, man, wow. So that's kind of crazy, and like what you just said though, John, they don't really throw cautions too much here, especially for that right there. Very respectful of him to get off the track like that. But we got a battle for the lead. As Brandon Mullen, man, is going to inside. Brian Johnson moves up. You know, I'm wondering something here. Early on in the race here, we've seen them do this. Are they swapping around up front?
Oh, they absolutely are. This is a strategy here. The other thing it does, it's going to give these guys a point. You know, they've pushed you around. You've led some laps. You know, he led at the end of the stage. So let these guys lead a lap, and they're going to get a point. But also, you got to let these guys cool off a little bit as their temps are getting up as they push you around. So just a fair game to play.
Well, here's the thing. Brian Johnson, Zach Hall, they're teammates. And Cedric Hunter and Brandon Mullen are teammates. So, I think that's what we're kind of seeing is maybe a little bit of a, hey, look, you help me, I help you right now. Then 10 to 5 laps to go, we ain't helping nobody.
Yeah, I think we'll see these guys kind of go at it here. Unless they're just content running where they're at and getting Talladega over with.
Well, yeah, we say that, but I guarantee you with the 5 laps to go, somebody's going to try for that win. Right now, there's no use. I mean, you can't win it. And then, lap 65 here or 90. I think their strategy right now is dead on because Bob Skinner and them is not catching them. So nobody out there is running down this front four. They have stayed glued together and have got a game plan that is working very, very good. And, Hello Kitty out there saying hello to the world. And you got the Hooters machine and soda can machine and a Target up front. So, man, I tell you, that's what a group. What do you think?
I'm thinking about strategy.
All right. Hey, no problem with that now. Well, and I'm looking back here at that second pack, which, has Nick Crawford. And they got Derek Palsy right there. The number 77's there with them, which is Mark Whitley. And, there's a couple lap down cars. So Nick has help in the form of 4 of the cars in front of him that hopefully is fast enough to get up there. Most of them are lap down machines. He's not. But if they stay in a group like they are, now he's only 13 seconds back. Problem is, we go back to Bob Skinner. He's got 5 cars. Think about it, he's just not gaining on them up there. At what point do you have to change that strategy is what I'm trying to say. At what point do they have to say?
If it's going to stay green, he's pretty much where he's going to be because there's nothing you can do about it. Because if you pit now, you're going to have to pit again because you're not going to make it. But 22 laps, 23 laps. So if these guys pit on lap 69, which I think they will, then they should make it to the end. But that really messes up what Bob Skinner needs to do.
Actually, wouldn't you have to pit on like lap 78 to make it to the end? It's 23 laps.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about 100 laps. You're right. You're right.
It's a 90-lap race.
My bad. Yeah, I was thinking 100-lap race. Sorry.
You just made me look at my
I'm sorry.
notes again.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of 100-lap total.
You're the redneck that knows computer stuff, okay?
I looked at the wrong
redneck
count.
Handle the math.
Hey,
stuff.
we had to write math right either way. I just had a 100-lap total. You had 90. That's all. Hey, we're good to go. But here's the thing they don't want to see is what we're seeing back here behind them. Robert Moyer and Bob Skinner, they're right there side by side. We got a car in the grass, it looks like. Oh, that's Jeff Gilmore.
Yeah, and he's on pit road, so there's
not
going to be a caution again because nobody's around him.
Well,
that's all iracing, and the rules for the league, like every other league, pretty much is they let iRacing control the cautions unless for something crazy happens and the admin controls it. But iRacing controls caution.
Well, let's see what happened to him right here. He had 18 and Dominique Lee right there on his back bumper. We said Dominique Lee went to pit before, so like a bump draft, and man, it just don't take much to send the cars around here, does it?
No, you could almost reach out with your hand and just push them with just one finger and get those things sideways. But
wow. Well, right now, it's the front four gang up front. Brandon Mullen, Cedric Hunter, Zach Hall, Brian Johnson. Those guys up front have had a heckin', and here they come.
Yeah, and Bob Skinner and those guys are on pit road right now.
So they did come in a lap earlier than them. So let's see if that helps them out. As we're going to keep an eye on that as Bob Skinner and them are coming out of the pits.
Yeah, I mean, it might help a little bit, but with these guys pitting right behind them now, they're going to need a ton of help.
Yeah. Well, they need a caution. And I hate to say that because I'd love to see this thing go caution-free, green flag all the way. But that's really, the field has got so spread out now, and they're definitely going to need it because these guys up front, they have a game plan. Their game plan is going to come apart, though, at the end of this race because it's anybody's ball game at that point. But as of right now, them four guys up front, you're not going to be able to separate them.
Yeah, you're not. And I'm looking now. Bob Skinner is running by himself.
Oh, now that's not what he wants. Yeah, well, Robert Moyer's the man in sixth spot. Nick Crawford sitting in fifth. They're 50-some seconds, so they're not going to make up any ground. So I just don't know what. Well, the only hope they'd have is these guys get up here and start going side by side racing, and Dominique Lee, he's trying to fight to stay on that lead lap. He's sitting in 8th spot right now. He'd be the first car lap down. So we'll see if he can stay up there in front of these guys. So right now, these four cars up front. Oh, Hello Kitty machine right there, pulling up the tail. He's I guess he's waggling his tail a little bit. Dominique, man, he is blocking the leaders. Wow. Well, that's not going to make him too many friends here at the Racing Freaks.
No, it's not.
Lap car, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been in the tail end of the lead lap and you're blocking the leader. That's not a way to say hello to the league. Which I mean,
just trying to fight, stay, the first car lap down as he is. Or I'm sorry, he's on the tail end of the lead lap. So he's in a pretty good position where he could move over and just stay in the tail end here.
Yeah.
But he's just trying to hold his position there in case there's a caution. I can't fault him for that, but he's blocking way too much now. Oh,
well, and he just got turned. Oh, and he took Cedric Hunter with him. Oh, that's not, and there's the caution that we didn't want to see. But folks, that is not. That's not going to make anybody happy. Well, that's not what we wanted to see. Caution as Dominique Lee, newcomer here. I mean, we're going to call it like we saw it. He was blocking. It's trying to stay on the lead lap. I mean, he went high, then went low, and Brandon Mullen says, see you later. And put him in the wall. Unfortunately, he bounced off the wall and caught the 13 machine Hello Kitty. And that did not make the cat happy as he punched the front of his head just a little bit. And looked like Derek Palsy back there spinning also. So, yeah, under caution here for the first time. So, now here's who that benefits. That benefits Bob Skinner and them, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. This is exactly what they wanted to see. Look for these guys to probably come in and get some tires on it, maybe. We'll see that. If I was them, I would. It's not going to hurt anything. But, yeah, they definitely they let him block one time. They went to do it again. and paid the price for it.
You know, and all's fair in love and war, I guess. There. So, well, here's the thing. We actually finally get to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Didn't think we was gonna get to talk to nobody. Let's see if we can't get a talk of Brandon Mullen up front. Brandon Mullen, this is Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Brandon, you've been up front. Y'all four up front there have got a heck of a strategy going on. Now that we're running the caution for the first time here, take us back to that last lap there. I know you was trying to get around the lap car, whatnot. I understand if you don't want to say anything about it, but you think you got a car that can pull it off here at Talladega?
Yeah, we'll see. You know, it just comes down to help that you have, and you know, I feel like we all had pretty good help there for a while, but now the field's bunched back up. Yeah, you never know. It's just a roll of the dice.
Well, absolutely. Well, looking very good. Y'all got a heck of a strategy going on there between y'all, Cedric Hunter. Unfortunately, Cedric Hunter got caught up in that last caution there. And Zach Hall, Brian Johnson out there. Guys, y'all was looking very good, man. I was hoping this thing would go green, but hey, just, you know, one of them deals is Talladega, you never know. But under caution for the first time, finally get to talk to somebody, unfortunately, here under these circumstances. But hey, guys, awesome racing. I mean, it's a really great race. Everybody's excited. Super Speedway here. RacinFreeks, sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience. Let's see, Zach Hall, still waiting in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, dude, Joe.
Well, you've been up in that lead pack most of the race here. How's the car feel? You think you got anything to pull it off tonight?
Yeah, like Brandon said, it's kind of a roll of dice here. Got some good help with my teammate behind me, and been helping Brandon out this race too. And kind of sucks we lost Cedric there. And we had a pretty good strategy going there. I was kind of hoping it would stay like that, but you know, it's unfortunate what happened. But I think we got a good chance here. We took 4 tires on that last lap, so the car's feeling pretty good right now.
All right, well, you got that Hooter machine looking really good. Hooting around the track, man, tonight. Love it, every minute of it. Hey, Brian Johnson, Joe White up in the booth. Got a copy?
It's Big 10-4, Joe.
Well, I got to say it one time so that everybody can hear it. Brian Johnson, Byron Johnson. So, haven't said that in a while. But anyways, you got your Mountain Dew machine. Welcome back here. You was off last week. Looking very good. Been up there in the top 4 all race long. Got a good strategy. How's your car feel? You think you got enough for this race?
Man, the car feels really good. It handles really well with this new package. Yeah, I mean, it's Talladega play track. Anything can happen. I'm just gonna try to time it right, help Zach here, and see what I can do for myself here.
All right, well, good luck out there. So we're going to skip over the 4th place man because no, he just well, he's concentrating. So Cedric Hunter, Joe White the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, I got to ask, how's the kitty out there because his head just got knocked off on that last caution? You doing all right in that car?
I think got a little bit more than knocked off. Yeah, we're doing fine. We got a fast car, and yeah, I think with hopefully some luck and a green flag run here, I can get back up there and hopefully bring home a trophy.
Awesome. Well, good deal. Good strategy you had going on there. Good luck. Got a clean car, looking very good, bad, fast. Bob Skinner, still waiting the booth. Got a copy?
What's going on, Joe?
Well, I definitely got to give you a shout out there, sir, because Miss Tina out here in the chat definitely does every race, week in and week out. She's loving this. She's on her feet, cheering you on out there. How's your car feel? And I love that paint job on your hood, by the way.
Yeah, the car's good. You know, I needed some luck, and unfortunately for Cedric, I got it there. You know, I took the car to victory lane last night. I'm trying to sweep the weekend, but, you know, I got some people I'm working with. If they're in front of me, it'll be hard for me to pull out on them.
All right. Well, good luck out there. Gentlemen, good luck to each and every one of you out there. Let's get back to concentrating, talking to your crew and all. I know it's a longer track. Normally, I'm able to get a lot of talking in here and whatnot. So I want to thank each and every one of you letting us do this. Man, keep them blood nuts and fenders on that thing, man. It's keep us storming around here. Good luck, gentlemen. Well, there you go. We was able to get a lot of good interviews
in
in.
the pit. That way I could get back on the lead lap.
Would have been nice.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah, I
best
was
thing that
hoping
happened
to,
for him
but
right
they
there. Just unfortunate for some other guys, but the good news is they had a fast repair there they could use. But puts Bob Skinner in a good spot here, man.
Always
We've
that
seen
one
him
guy.
work with guys really well. He just had some bad things happen, but up here now and see what he can do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this puts the field stacked back up here, folks, as we're getting set to go back green flag racing. Brandon Mullen's going to be the man out front. He took the high side. Zach Hall's going to be on the inside. Robert Moyer right there in third. Brian Johnson fourth. Cedric Hunter, he got caught up in that incident. He's still fifth, so it didn't really hurt him too bad. But here we go. These guys are back hooked together. And like what you just said, now this is interesting here, John, because now from this point on, the next time, they won't be able to make it all the way on fuel. So, gonna be interesting. So here we go. Pace cars coming on into the tri-oval part here. Looking very good. Pace car takes a hard left turn on pit road. As Brandon Mullen's going to send these guys a storming off down here. Zach Hall right there on him. We're going to see now we got them all stacked back up. 2 by 2, green flag in the air. Lap 77 of 90. John, that's going to put us at about 24, 23 laps to the end. That puts them right on the pit window. Anybody take that gamble in the last lap and take it all the way?
They can go all the way.
They can't go. Okay. All right. Well, as of right now, Brandon Mullen looking very good. He's got his hands full right there with Zach Hall behind him. The outside lane, Robert Moyer. He's got help from Bob Skinner. And we just heard Bob Skinner, he won last night, so he knows how to get around Talladega. Is it time to try that outside lane, or is it still too early?
It's still a little too early right now. I mean, there's nothing wrong with running up there and being like where Robert's at and where Bob's at. But you got to hope that some more guys get up there and run with you. And then you don't want to give these guys up here that have shown a lot of speed all night a shot to get up there in front of you. So 77, 82 here need to get together nose to tail. Maybe bring some other cars with them. But definitely too early to be aggressive and trying to be up front.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now you still got Brandon Mullen up front. So you got those 3 cars right there. Outside lane, you got Robert Moyer, Bob Skinner trying to help them along. Just don't think that outside lane's the place to go yet. We'll have to see what's going on. But it's a freight train on the inside, and that's what we're used to seeing here at Talladega. Looks like Bob Skinner's going to take it 3 wide.
Yeah, Robert Moyer got in there and really pushed up the track there and opened that hole, and Bob Skinner didn't have any choice but to go by him.
Yeah, absolutely. Right here. Yeah, it's getting dicey up there. Tina said it's getting dicey up there. Bob Skinner took a move and took it there and made it pass. But I tell you, Robert Moyer, we talk about it. That guy's a very constant. He's very cool, calm, and collect. Very patient on what he does. Now, he's got help from Derek Palsy right there. Don't count out that number 2 machine. We haven't talked about him. He is still lap down. Tyler Conroy sitting in 11th spot. But these guys still stacked up, nose to tail, wheel to wheel, storming down the bad stretch here. They are now side by side as the Hello Kitty machine is trying to come to the front. He's pushing the rock star Bob Skinner along with him.
Yeah, like I said earlier, one of those guys up front there was probably going to make a move to the outside. That really helps Bob Skinner and those guys with the 13 as he's showing a lot of speed. But again, you see that inside line is just so much better. Oh, and the 82's out of shape.
Don't want to see that. I did not want to see that one, as that involved Bob Skinner. And the good thing, well, bad part is he got involved in the wreck. The good part is he's got a fast fix. But man, let's go back on the replay and see, because it was getting dicey. We're getting to the point of the race here. Yeah, it's go time.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things, man. You're bump drafting and you're on a guy's bumper, working yourself back and forth on the wheel, and you can't do that when you're attached to somebody. So just it's a racing deal at Talladega, but that's what got him out of shape was the 77 hitting him in the tri-oval there as you're turning in, and he's just all over his bumper.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, 77 was bump drafting, and then he was up on the back end of Cedric Hunter, so You know, just one of them deals where we're in the caution, and this is the thing. Cautions breed caution. You hear it all the time in racing. As we're at lap 81 of 90 here, folks. So business is about to pick up. Like we said, it's going to get dicey up front. It's almost go time. Probably another 10 or 15 laps or so.
They have 90 laps, Joe, not 100.
Oh, man, why do I keep saying
laps.
I am stuck on 100 laps, and I apologize, folks. I am very sorry. Why?
I'm just letting you know.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
Right?
I'm glad you did. I don't know why I'm stuck on 100 laps. I apologize right now. Well, business is
the official
definitely
race with the Cup car is 100 laps.
Okay, that's maybe where I'm getting at.
They do those, long races.
Yeah.
And a lot of other leagues do 100, but they're doing 90. And the reason they're doing 90 is because the fuel run that they wanted to have.
Okay.
If they'd have done 100 with this type of fuel run, it'd have just made for a real jacked up race.
Gotcha. Well, and I apologize again. I'm stuck on 100 laps. That's why I was sitting here to say it's kind of early business on it. But no doubt, we're sitting here with 9 laps to go. Going to be 8 this time by the time we get back green flag racing, probably going to have about 6 laps here left here tonight. RacinFreeks Sim Racing League, sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience. In Pocono, Pennsylvania area. Hey, if you want to experience what it's like, man, to be in one of these cars, check those guys out if you're up there in the Pennsylvania area, because it's definitely probably an awesome experience. I've never done it, but I've heard guys say it's definitely one. And what we've experienced tonight is an awesome race. Now, with that said, and I've got all my thoughts correctly, thanks to John T. Wimbus. Yes, patience, teamwork, it's a go time. You're going to see the target man up front. He's going to put it for all he's worth. And the Hooter machine behind him, well, he's going to be throwing chicken wings all over the track. And he's going to try to throw a few there at that Mountain Dew soda can machine behind him. And hopefully the Hello Kitty machine don't try to eat them. He just wants to eat them cars and get them out the way so he can pick up a win tonight.
Well, and this restart here coming to it is where you've got to figure out who the players are going to be for the win. You're not going to be back in 10th. Now, obviously, at a place like Talladega, you could go from 10th to 1st. But if they're too wide, then you have to realize I'm going to run where I can finish. What's the best finish I can get out of this without really forcing a crazy issue? And that's where you got to help out the guys who are the players up front and realize that, hey, if I'm running 5th, this is probably just going to be the best finish I can get out of this and get out of here instead of taking a crazy chance and, putting yourself in the back of the pack instead. So be interesting to see. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of racing intelligence to say that to yourself, like, hey, I just need to take it easy and push these guys and just get this race over with.
Yeah, true. And I agree totally with you right there. So you know what we're gonna do for this restart here, John?
Are we gonna do it?
We're gonna do the restart. We're gonna start this restart off like we always do. You know what time it is?
It's time for the speed cam.
That's right. When these guys goes green, we're just gonna bring them back live and in your face, just slap you right there with it, because we know, like we just said, they're about to pick it up here, because they're gonna have about 6 laps to go when they go, probably about 5 laps to go. And let me just remind you, if there is a caution comes out the next time around on that, pretty much call it over with. So these guys could be side by side and glued together. If you haven't went and got your refreshments and went and done everything you need to do,
you better do it now, because you don't want to miss a thing. That's my crazy announcer voice. You like that?
I have no words. Where do we come up with this?
Do it now so you don't miss any of the action.
Yeah, call us at 1-800.
Good Lord.
Oh, that's what it sounds like with them infomercials,
Yeah.
It does sound like one. That's Robert's going to get in contact with you after the race to do a Racing Freak infomercial, okay?
Yeah, I do one of those commercials where the volume is oddly loud. Those commercials in the middle of the night. Everything's real quiet at one time in the next commercial. They're talking to you like this.
Yeah, you're half asleep. The next thing you know, what the heck was that?
And it's real muffled too. It's like, do you want to own a timeshare? No, I don't need a timeshare. Why are you yelling at me?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Call now. Time is running out.
We have carried this way too far.
We have, but we're still under caution. So as we're coming, I mean, this is a huge track, and you know what more to say is folks, I can't sit here and paint a picture of what's going to happen because I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, right now
First
the strategy.
of all, you probably can't paint very well.
Well, that's true. I can finger paint probably, but that'd be about it.
Yes, so can a 5-year-old.
I'm trying to take some drink, man, when you said that. Spit it all over the mic.
Oh, wait.
Well, lights are off on the pace car. It's going to take a long, long trip around here. What's going through these guys' minds here is we're going to have about 5 laps to go.
Please don't wreck me.
That's a good thought.
That's all there is to it.
That's a good
the
thought.
20 and the 32 are saying, push me to the win, and everybody else is saying, please don't wreck me.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, the target machine's hoping nobody, man, uses him as a target. And the Hooter machine up there is hoping nobody gets happy and thinks, man, there's actually a Hooter up here. And I don't know what the heck he's driving in that Ford machine, but the soda can's going, look, guys, I don't have Mountain Dew. And Hello Kitty's going, leave my cat alone.
Good Lord.
I love these guys, man. I love the paint job.
I'll tell you what, man, when there's a dead horse in the ditch, we just beat the crap out of that thing.
That's what they come back for more, though. And we appreciate it each and every week. You guys coming back. I know the leagues do. I know these drivers do. They're loving every minute of it. But like I said, John, as it comes out of turn number 4, we're about to set sail here. You know what time it is.
We're going to have some bad, fast action. We're going to bring it to you live on the Speed Cam.
And that's what we're about to do, folks. So stay tuned. Sydney's fastening your seatbelts. That pace car's coming out of turn 4. It's going to the tri-oval. Going to take the hard left turn. We're going to turn it over, like John just said, to the Speed Cam. Well, I'll tell you what, we were watching it right there. Folks, that's going to do it. We're going to go back here on the replay here for you right fast. We can show you who's going to come across the line. Brandon Mullen pulls that thing across the line here, and I think he's going to be the winner of this race. But I got a feeling Brian Johnson, man, just slammed the wall hard. That's what we saw under caution, and that caution is going to end this one. We're going back on the replay here just to watch what happened.
Yeah, just had Cedric all over his bumper, man, and just, again, hit him in the right rear part of the bumper there. And in these cars, you can't do that. You got to hit them square. And hitting in a turn doesn't help either.
No, it don't. Well, right now, Brandon Mullen, though, is going to be the man that will survive here tonight. Zach Hall in second, Cedric Hunter in third, as we saw it right there on the replay, crossing the start-finish line. under caution, and yes, we will not get this one back under green. But man, Brian Johnson, they bashed the Mountain Dew soda can machine all up against the wall. He hit it hard. Somebody please call 911 and see if that young man's okay.
Yeah, I've always said, man, if they, and somebody will eventually, the immersion into sim racing is so unbelievable that one day somebody's going to create a vest for you to wear that's going to punch you right in the chest.
What about like a motion sim that when you hit the wall, it jars you to the front so much you have to have a harness device on.
If everybody had something like that, you would see guys run so much smarter. And I'm not saying what just happened here was not, that was a racing deal. Those things happen.
Right, yeah.
But you would see guys give each other a little bit more room and be a little more patient if you knew it was going to hurt.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and folks, give probably another 10 years or so, you're going to see motion simulators probably can simulate the impact of one of these cars. And like what John and I was saying, now my old self wouldn't be in one because it would take about one hit and I'd be broke. But yeah, that would be kind of cool to see on a video. But tonight's winner pulling it off, surviving Talladega Speedway. Unfortunately, though, we went pretty much most of the race caution free, and cautions breed cautions right there. Brian Johnson, obviously just a racing deal, got turned, bump drafting, and just hard into the wall, brings out the caution. This was going to end it, but Brandon Mullen, the man in the number 20 machine, the target machine, is going to pull it off. Zach Hall, and it was a heck of a strategy throughout this whole race, John. Those four guys up front all race long, that they had a plan and it worked.
Yeah, it worked very well. They did a great job with that. From the very first pit stop, those guys worked well together. Just a little too much pushing there at the end, can get you in trouble. But and these cars, man, they're like that. They're so light in the back end, and all it takes is just a little push in the wrong spot. And anytime you hit somebody on the right rear portion of the bumper here, it can send them spinning, get them bent out of shape. Even on the backstretch, you can hit a guy there and it gets them bent out of shape. So just imagine what it feels like and what it does to them in the turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yes, Tina, Bob Skinner is going to come home in fourth tonight.
Yeah, it's a good night back-to-back for him. I mean, picked himself up a couple spots. I think, before that caution, he was running seventh. Way behind those guys, so great job by him. Lucked up with that caution there, but did a lot of things there, put himself in a good spot.
He did, and we were talking about the 20 car earlier on. Needed a good finish, needed a good run. He's been bad fast throughout the whole season. Well, no other thing, man, to get you going on your season than a win. And he's definitely going to take the third and final segment here. He's going to take home the trophy tonight. Talladega Motor Speedway here. Brandon Mullen in number 20 machine. He had the target machine out there. Nobody was able to hit the target, and he was able to bring it home. Looking very good. The RacinFreeks Sim Racing League here, sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience. And it was awesome. So, hey, and Waylon, we saw what you put. You put the thing up on the TV there in your work. Shame on you.
Not shame on him. That's awesome. That
well, it is
he
awesome.
can even do that.
Well, yeah. Where you work at? Let y'all watch races. We like that. Me and John, we're celebrities. Well, John's a celebrity. I'm just up here talking.
No, I'm not. I've never said that. Don't start that.
He is. He's a politician.
No, I'm not even that.
Yes, you are. You're like a congressman or something.
No. I ran as a write-in for Congress in the 9th District of Virginia.
Well, the only thing I ever ran for was just ran from the mailbox to the front porch.
That explains why you can't fit in a daggone stock car.
Well, there you go. Man, look.
Even when I did it, it was just for, I wanted to get information to people. I wanted to know the truth and things that were going on.
You can't handle the truth.
So, I handled it pretty well.
Well, as we're coming here for the white flag, Brandon Mullen, and it's the long green flags. I mean, John, we just love having fun up here. So this is what we do. This is what we have fun. We appreciate everybody tuning in. As always, tonight was an experiment. I think it went very, very well. John loves when I do my experiments. He goes, "Oh, what now? You know, what's he working on now? Good Lord!" But we were up here, obviously our YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. I was able to communicate with all the people over there on Twitch and Facebook Live tonight. It was awesome. But also we was out on the tweeter land tonight. So anybody out there tweeting, you was able to see the race too. So that's kind of cool. Just trying to get these leagues out to more people we can. And try something different here at OSR Network that nobody else does. Plus, you know, I'll go ahead and say it. If there's a sponsor out there and you want to get your name out and you don't want to pay, you know, $20 million for 2 minutes, if you want to pay $20 million, I'll take it and I'll run your thing for 5 hours.
Yeah,
you know
that'd
what I
be
mean?
perfectly okay. That's acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll run the thing for 5 hours, 7 days a week if you want.
We'll
but
just have a dedicated channel for you and just stream it 24/7.
Absolutely. But anyways, we're just trying that tonight, and you know, we'll appreciate that. And as always, appreciate John, man, taking his time away, going to help me call these races. But Brandon Mullen, he survived it tonight, had a great strategy all night long with the top 4 cars there. Zach Hall, Cedric Hunter, Brian Johnson was up there in the mix, and but he's going to be our winner here at Talladega Super Speedway tonight. And Waylon says he works for a drug company. That explains it.
And therein lies the problems with that individual.
Absolutely. Well, coming through the try over here for the final time, this time by the take the checkered flag. Tonight's winner, the number 20 machine, Brandon Muller. That target machine, he's got Zach Hall in the 32 behind him. And then old Hello Kitty saying hello to the world right there as he's coming up in 3rd spot. And we'll give a notable shout out to the 4th and 5th place. You got Bob Skinner right there in 4th. And Robert Boyer in the top 5.
Yeah, another good run for Robert, man.
Yes,
had
it
a
is.
2nd place finish last week, 5th place this week. And tough deal there. And saw him being very cautious and careful there, as he usually is. You know, always a good, clean driver, and he's not here to jack up any of these guys. And you know, he runs a league, and he wants them to be happy. And but he does run very clean. But good racer in there, and good finish by him tonight.
Well, guess what? You get to interview Hello Kitty. So let's bring him on up, Cedric Hunter.
Really?
Really?
Hey, Cedric Hunter is John Wimbish and Joe White in the booty of the copybook.
Yes, I do.
Well, Joe loves your Hello Kitty car, and I imagine that we're going to see it again next week because it's working out pretty well for you. Tell us about your race there and what your strategy was there at the end if we wouldn't have seen that caution.
The strategy, we were planning on just kind of going to the green, and then, like my teammate is Brandon, and then Zach and Brian are teammates. So we were kind of we came to a mutual agreement to just, you know, wait till the 5-lap mark and then just give the fans, you know, a race that they'll never forget. And then we got held up with the lap car, and that was sadly kind of, how can I say it, hurt us a lot. And when all that stuff went back green, I was crossing my fingers for something good to happen. I'm not sure if I got into Brian there at the end or if it was net code or anything like that. I'll have to take a look, but if I got into him, you know, I apologize. And yeah, that's pretty much how my race went. I'm really happy though that my teammate got a win. That was really good for him and for us.
Yeah, the deal with Brian there is just a racing deal, man. You're really good at pushing cars all night, and we referenced that earlier on in the race. Looked like you were just trying to give him a good push right there, and just got a little bit out of shape. But that's Talladega racing for you, man. So it's a good run for you, good point tonight. You got anybody you want to thank out there?
Yeah, I got to thank and congratulate my teammate again, Brandon Mullen, for getting that win. It was a really good job done by him. To thank Zach, Brian, Bobby, Robert for the clean racing there at the end and just throughout the race. Thanks to all the guys that you know makes the league possible, including the drivers, admins, all that stuff. Thanks to you guys for doing this awesome broadcast. I'm sure it'll look good when I go back and watch it later. Apart from that, and I guess thanks to Hello Kitty, because apparently it's working. So I actually might bring that back next week. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Well, I believe you probably just need to keep it going until it doesn't work for you anymore. So we'll see what happens, bud. Congratulations, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks again.
All right, well, John, I tell you what, we're going to bring up our second place man, Zach Hall, here tonight. Did everything he could to try to bring home a victory there, and good strategy. But second place man, Zach Hall.
Hey, Zach Hall, John Wimbush and Joe White in the booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, I do, John.
Well, it was a very interesting race. Good pitch strategy by you guys. It worked out pretty well in all y'all's favor there. So tell us a little bit about your race and what your strategy was going to be there at the end if we would not have seen the caution, if you were going to be up there trying to take that lead away.
Oh, yeah, that was a good race. We worked the strategy real well. We had about 6 of us working together, and we got kind of separated from 2 of them. We worked that well. It was going to play in our factor because we were going to make it on a 3-stop instead of 4. And that unfortunate business with a lap car kind of happened. And then there at the end, me and my teammate Brian behind me, we were setting up. We weren't going to do nothing until really the last lap, maybe coming out of 4, because we knew how bad the outside was. It's just can't get a lot of momentum going unless you got more cars up there than the bottom. So we were really waiting for the last corner really to set some up, maybe drag the brake a little bit, get a big run. But it sucks. I think kind of had some net code happening with Cedric and Brian. I don't know. I haven't checked out the replay yet, but yeah, it sucks. He got wrecked. Like could have had a 2-3 finish, maybe even a 1-2 if we could have got past them. But it was a good race. We worked really hard together, all of us guys.
Yeah, it was a great race, man. You guys did a good job. Even had a viewer out here, old Waylon Lamb, was streaming it on the television at work and had people gather around watching you guys. So a very interesting race, a lot of exciting racing going on with you guys out there. So you got anybody you want to thank?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I want to thank, mostly I want to thank Cedric and Brandon. They're not our teammates, but, oh, yeah, and also Bobby. They're both not all 3 of them are our teammates. So with PR Team, me, Robert, and Brian. But they worked with us tonight, and everybody collaborated together. We made sure nobody, we stuck. If someone got lost in the draft, we'd go back and get them, and we were going to wait till the end to really race it out.
Thank you, Tina.
So I want to thank them guys for being players on that, because you got to do that in plate racing, of course. And I want to thank you guys for broadcasting. You do an awesome job. I want to thank the viewers, too. That's awesome when somebody's streaming it at their job. Or for a bunch of people, that's really cool, and makes it really fun to come out and race every weekend. Really wish we could have got the 3rd one, but 3 in a row, but it just wasn't meant to be tonight. But I'll take 2nd. So I just want to thank everybody. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, 2nd at Talladega. That's a good night. Anybody would take that and be happy with it, man, because anything could happen here. So congratulations on your 2nd place finish here. I know it's a good points night for you, and that's what you're looking for. So we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
All right, Joe. He said it, man. We said at the beginning of the broadcast, teamwork was the name of the game. And you got to have it even if the guys aren't on your team if you want to run good here. So give it to you. We know what you're not going to run. You're definitely going to walk and get a hot dog.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I see Brandon Mullen is down there in the chat. He's got his mic awesome. I'll pull him up here because that's tonight's winner here. Brandon Mullen in that number 20 machine, the target machine. Let's pull him up here and see if he can hear us. If not, somebody send him a poke. Tell him he's live in action here because we're down here in Victory Lane with him at Talladega Super Speedway. he must have. He's in shock, folks, I think. He won tonight. Let's see if I can't send him a poke here. Turn mic back on. Alright, I sent him a poke, said, hey man, you live. So, we'll give him a few seconds here, but anyway, John, like we're saying, teamwork paid dividends tonight, because we saw it. Those 4 guys up front, they worked together. 2 separate teams, so that usually you don't see that a lot, but 2 separate teams, they played together and ended up, and even at the end of the race, worked together very, very well.
Well, you got to have it. That's the only way you're going to run good. But the thing is, too, you've got to run a good line. You have to show guys that, they can draft with you. And we see that in real life, with the Cup guys. There are some people that, guys want to work with, and there's some that they don't want to work with because they're just too, all over the place, on and off the throttle and just things like that. It's not it's just about how smooth you can be. You show them, you know, that they can work with you, and it makes them more comfortable to be around you. So, but a lot of close racing there towards the end. You know, that caution came out and got everybody back up there together, and expected to see at least one caution out of that as you bunch those guys together and everybody's trying to get moving. But it was a good race. You know, interesting stuff happened out there tonight.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, while we're waiting on him to come back off of off of his break, whatnot, let's go to racing results here tonight. Tonight's winner, Brandon Mullen, pulling it off here. Zach Hall coming in second. Cedric Hunter in third. Bob Skinner rounding in the fourth spot tonight. Robert Boyer in fifth. Nick Crawford right there in sixth. Jeff Gilmore seventh. Tyler Conroy right there in eighth. Tom Drilling in ninth. And Derek Paulsing rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, John Mustang Jr. in 11th. Mark Whitley 12th. Randy Fayash, I hope we're saying that right. If we're not, let us know how that's pronounced. 13th, James Hackworth Jr. 14th, Eugene Wilkinson 15th, Dominic Lee 16th, John LeBombard 17th, Hilton Young 18th, and Brian Johnson, saw him get taken out there at the end, finishes in the 19th position.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, let's see if I can bring Robert Moyer up here real quick. See if he can get a hold of Brandon Mullen. Brandon Mullen still has his mic turned off. That's why we're waiting on tonight's winner. So we'll see if we can bring Robert Moyer up here real quick. See if we can't get him to maybe get Brandon Mullen up for us. Hey, Robert Moyer, this is Joe White at the booth. You got a copy? Need to ask you a question real quick.
Yes, got you.
Yeah, well, Brandon Mullen has had his mic off, and I don't know if there's any way you can get a hold of him. I poked him. We definitely want to get a talk with our race winner. We don't want to go off the air without getting him a shout out here. I know he's excited, and we're just waiting to see if there's any way you might could get a hold of him for us.
Well, I wish I could for you guys, for the viewer, but I have no way of getting a hold of him. Probably what happened is that his son was crying, or maybe he had to get up and take care of his kid real quick.
Okay, well, I understand that. Life thing's more important. Well, we got you up here. You don't mind doing a quick interview?
Sure.
All right, well, you had a pretty darn good finish tonight. Rounding out the top 5 right there again. Pretty darn solid here coming in Talladega. Worked really good. Got back there in the back. Long green flag runs. I know a couple cautions out there, but that cautions breed cautions. But not a bad night. How'd the car feel?
Car felt really stable. You could get into the turn and the front end was planted. It just handled really nice. But if you were that tail end car, you were in a nice way. You were very unlucky.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, like I say, me and John was watching a heck of a race up here. Was tell the guys up front, they did a heck of a job in the front 4 up there, working together and whatnot, and I enjoyed it.
Yes, it was a good race. Like you said, cautions breed cautions, but there halfway through the race, it was really good racing. Guys were giving room and moving back and forth. So yeah, I'm happy with the turnout. It was a great race, and off we go to Kansas next week. Awesome, good deal. Well, and then we got that's a late race too, by the way, folks. Kansas is going to be at 11:15 Eastern Standard Time next week. But Robert, man, again, congratulations on that top 5. I see old Bob Skinner's down there in the waiting room. I'm going to get him an interview because we don't get to talk to him much. And
yeah, I'm sorry. I made an executive decision there, Joe. I figured.
That's fine. Yeah, because, I mean, we're still waiting, hopefully, and I understand life things, come up. And we're hoping that Brandon will pop back in anytime. That's why we're just kind of maybe going through. And, yeah, John, Robert's got anything else you want on your mind here real quick?
No, just like to say thank you to the drivers here at the league, showing respect, racing clean. If anybody's looking for respect and clean, come by and race with us. Thanks to you, Joe. Thanks to John. Thanks to the viewers. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have what we have.
Awesome. Well, good deal. I appreciate it again, Robert, as always. So, tell you what, I'm going to let John bring on Bob Skinner up here. I know Tina Seeley out there in the chat will be loving every minute of it. And we'll, he had a darn good finish tonight, so I'll send it over to you, John.
Hey, Bob Skinner, it's John Wimbish and Joe White in the booth. You get a copy, bud?
Yeah, I'm here, John. And Joe?
All right, bud. I made an executive decision here. Talk to you, man, because we talked to Robert. And if we're going to talk to Robert, we got to talk to you, too, because And you kind of lucked up there with that caution. You run back there in the back with Robert at 7th at one point. Came out of here 4th. So tell us, about your strategy when you saw that caution come out and you know you're going to be back up with the lead pack there.
I couldn't believe it. There was quite a few little incidents, cars coming up on the track, and caution just never came. And when it did, it was like, wow, I've got a shot at it. And, I made some moves. I made some wrong calls on some pit strategy that put me in that position. And when I got my second chance, I tried to go for it. I'm happy with the 4th. I'm real happy for Brandon. He deserved that one. It was a great race overall. We'll take it.
Yeah, if you can get out of here, first of all, with a clean car in the top 5, man, that's a good night for you, good points night. Just exciting to see there. So just wanted to give you a little bit of love, man, because you did a good job. It's not an easy place to run. A lot of things happening around you there. So good job coming in 4th here, and we'll see you in the next one, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate all you guys do. Thank you so much. You guys have a great night.
Yeah, you too, bud. Take care.
All right, well, John, I tell you what, we're going to head out here, but nonetheless, I understand how life things go. We will definitely get an interview with Brandon Mullen next week, John, if we can't get a hold of him tonight. Like I said, we understand how life stuff comes up and whatnot, but winner tonight, Talladega Motor Speedway, Brandon Mullen here tonight, folks, pulling it off here. We seen everything. We seen strategy for a plate race play out. 2 different teams worked it very well throughout there the first part of the race. We saw some hard, clean racing out there. The guys were storming around this huge track. Game final thoughts, John?
It was a good race. I know there at the beginning, everybody was like, well, what's going to happen, because they're just turning laps. But, the thing is, too, you got to think about his strategy with the way that the fuel run was going. Played out. I think it was great. I think it was a good call to run that type of fuel, and those laps. So the strategy worked, and then they had that caution at the end, and, some bad things could have happened. But, those guys that played, in my opinion, the best strategy, it paid off for them. And unfortunately, the 28, Johnson had that bad luck there at the end. But for the most part, man, it worked out real well. But, glad to see Robert Moyer, have a top 5 finish here. Bob Skinner come back, finish 4th. So, yes, congratulations to Brandon Mullen for sure. And we'll get to talk with him next week before that race gets started.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we promise you on that one, folks. And again, I want to appreciate everyone tuning in tonight, because you saw a heck of a race here. Talladega Speedway, Super Speedway, RacinFreeks Sim Racing League, sponsored by Stock Car Racing Experience. Well, what a heck of a race. So until next week, Kansas Motor Speedway here, live OSR Network. We're going to bring it to you YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, and on Twitter. So until then, tomorrow night, we got Winstail Cup Racing, K&N Cars, Daytona Road Course action. And I said that right, the road course. So it should be unique. And then following that one, a doubleheader night, we got the Monday Night Thunder guys, K&N Series. They're going to be running there. So until tomorrow night, check us out, everyone. Have a good night.
Have you ever wanted to drive a real race car on a famous NASCAR track? The staff at Stock Car Racing Experience will suit you up, teach you what you need to know, and put you behind the wheel of a 160-mile-per-hour stock car on NASCAR's famous Pocono Raceway.
That was great. I enjoyed it. Unbelievable.
It's that unique, one-of-a-kind experience you'll never forget.
It was definitely worth it. It's the second time I did it, and I'm still shaking.
Call or register online at 877stockcar.com for a heart-pounding, once-in-a-lifetime experience. You won't forget it.